Yo, what is up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Trishula here, and we have kind of a surprise video today. Late last night, there was revealed that we're going to be getting some new Dragon Ruler monsters, so I guess that's why they brought them all back at the Anaheim Vanlist reveal, so shout out to them for that. But it turns out that these new Dragon Rulers are actually very, very good. Not only as Dragon Ruler support, but also as Dragon Link support. So because it's Dragon Link related, you know I'm going to cover it on the channel. So I figure today we go over all the new cards, just read them together, make sure we all know what they do, and then show off what I think that these cards are capable of, because I think they're so powerful. But before we get into that, remember to like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and drop a comment as well if you're feeling so generous. It really does help the channel out a lot, helps us grow, and helps more people see the video so that they too can know the power of these Dragon Rulers. So while you're doing that, let's hop into the first Dragon Ruler. This is probably the best one, the one that kind of makes these cards as good as they are, and that is Spectre, Dragon Ruler of Auroras. So this one has two effects. You can only use one of its effects per turn, and only once that turn. So the first effect is the really good effect. You can discard it and another light or dragon monster to add 2 Dragon Rulers from your deck to your hand. And then it also has the effect that you can banish it and another light or dragon monster from your graveyard to summon Chasmatis, the big version of Spectre, and special it back. Second effect we don't care about too much. It's really just first effect that makes it super powerful, because this effectively lets you search for any dragon monster in the game by discarding itself plus another dragon, or a light card, of which we're already playing so many of. We got stuff like Effect Veiler, Nibiru, Ghost Ogre, all good cards that you're probably going to be playing anyway. So just adds a ton of consistency to any dragon strategy, and you'll see why in a little bit. Next we have its counterpart, Nebulous, Dragon Ruler of Darkness, which is same stipulation, you know, can only use one of its 2 effects, only once per turn. Its discard effect is that you can pitch it with another dark or dragon monster, target 2 of your banished Dragon Rulers with different attributes, and special them back, but they can't attack this turn. So it's a little bit of a soul charge effect. I think this one's a bit better in a pure Dragon Ruler strategy. I haven't really found a specific use for this card yet in Dragon Link. You know, there might be a use for it, but I haven't found it yet. It's not in any of the combos I'm going to be showing you guys, but if you guys figure out something with this card, let me know in the comments below. So these are the 2 babies. You can also banish it from the graveyard with another dark to, like Spectre, bring out its big form. So moving on to the big forms, we got Chasmatis, Dragon Ruler of Poles. Takes 2 level 7 dragon monsters. So unfortunately, this does lock us out of using stuff like Kashtira Unicorn or Diabellstar to give us those level 7 bodies. You do have to be using level 7 dragons. But that's no problem, because Spectre sets this up very nicely. So you can only use its first and second effect once per turn each. It is first effect, quick effect. You can send a level 7 Dragon Ruler from your deck to the graveyard, detach a material from this card. This effect becomes the sent monster's effect that activates by discarding itself. So if you're unfamiliar, all the Dragon Rulers have 3 effects, and each of them have an effect by discarding themselves plus another dragon or a guy with the same attribute to do something. So Tidal is a Foolish Burial, for example. Redox is Monster Reborn. Tempest searches for any dragon. And that's kind of the one that we're interested in for Dragon Link, because this card effectively just lets us dump a Tempest and search for any dragon in the game, which is really, really strong. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, while it's in our possession, you can special summon a level 7 Dragon Ruler from our grave or banishment. Not as important, but it could come up if it sticks around on the board, so good to keep mind of. Then we also have Eclipsis, Dragon Ruler of Calamities. This one's pretty cool because it has 2 effects. If it's Xyz summoned, you can target one of the little Dragon Rulers, so either the level 4, like the level 4s, 3s, or 2s, and then summon the corresponding level 7 Dragon Ruler from either your deck or banishment, and then you shuffle the original target back into the deck. So kind of a good way to keep your resources flowing. Not too bad. But what's interesting on Eclipsis is that it is a spell trap negate for Dragon Link on a rank 7 body. Pretty appreciated. Gives the Dragon Ruler something to be used for in terms of building a board, which I like a lot. Then we also have this one, which is kind of interesting, kind of like a Tiamat dragon. We have Disaster, Dragon Ruler of Extremes, 2 rank 7 monsters. So you have to use both Xyz monsters to make this guy. And then if it's Xyz summon, you can target up to 4 level 7 Dragon Rulers in your graveyard or banishment, attach it to his material. Then you can banish all monsters your opponent controls and in their graveyard with the same attributes as all the monsters attached to it. And then because it is a 0/0, of course it has an effect to give it stats. If this card has Light, Dark, Earth, Water, Fire, Wind Dragon Rulers as material, it gets 4,600 attack and defense and is unaffected by other card effects. So clearly this is to be used in like a very pure Dragon Ruler build. I don't know how we're getting this card on the board. I just do not see this ever happening. Then we have Draco Catastrophe is the quick play spell that they got. Kind of forgot that they got this card, I'm not going to lie, but very cool that they did. You can special summon a Dragon Ruler monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment. Then, immediately after it resolves, you can Xyz summon a Dragon Ruler monster using only Dragon Ruler monsters you control. So, kind of a way to get into either Disaster or Eclipsis on the opponent's turn, which is very cool. During the main phase, you can banish it from the graveyard, target any number of banished Dragon Ruler monsters, and return them to the grave. So it also has a it has that card from Edison format. You know what card I'm talking about. Is it Foolish Burial Return? Something like that. Now that we've gone over all of the dragons, let's hop into the combos, because I think that these cards are really strong. So this first one is just going to be with Spectre. Like, just Spectre. As you can see, it's just Spectre and some hand traps. And let's see how far we can get with just Spectre. So let's go Spectre, pitch a Veiler, and I'm going to search Recton, Dragon Ruler of Pebbles, as well as Tidal, Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. So a key thing to keep in mind is that Spectre can search 2 Dragon Rulers, and all of the little baby Dragon Rulers are still Dragon Rulers themselves, so it can search those out. So we're going to use Pebbles to pitch the Tidal and summon Redox from the deck. We can then use Tidal to banish the 2 dragons that are in our grave now and summon itself out. We can overlay into the Chasmantis, and then we can use its effect to send for cost the Tempest that is in our deck to then search for any dragon-type monster. So now we're just going to add Black Metal, and I think you know where this goes. Black Metal is clearly the best starter for Dragon Link, and we're going to just normal summon it, go into Spirit of Eyes of Blue, because by the time these cards come out, this card will be legal. We're going to search our Red MD, banish the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, get back our Black Metal Dragon, link off into our Romulus first, which might feel a little bit weird, but it makes sense because we are going to first dump our Abserator. Now, this might feel weird, but just bear with me. We're going to get Rocket Tracer into hand, and why do we want to do this? Well, the answer is so that we can have a dragon in hand, so that when we link into this Striker Dragon underneath the Romulus, we are able to trigger Romulus's secret effect to special summon a dragon from our hand and negate its effects. Now, obviously, we don't want to summon this Rocket Tracer because we're going to be searching for the Boot Sector launch with Striker, but here we can trigger the effect of Black Metal Dragon to add the Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon to our hand and the Boot Sector launch, and then because our Romulus was Chainlink 1, we can special this Meteor out onto the board. So that's why we needed to search this Tracer first, so that this was a legal activation. So now, because this wasn't summoned with its own effect, this is a level 6 monster, we can then use the Boot Sector launch, special out the Tracer. And the sequencing here, I think you should probably summon this Dragon Ruler first, but I didn't. Oh well. But you can summon out a Dragon Ruler and make sure to banish your Black Metal Dragon. And then you can go into Heretic Seals. And now we can use the Tracer effect, pop the Boot Sector, get out our Recharger, and then we can Synchro Summon for the Bestial Dispatter. Dispatter can then summon back the Black Metal that we banished off of the Dragon Ruler, and then we can go for Guard Dragon Pisty. Pisty can get us back our Red MD, And then we can go for a card that we have not seen very much on my channel because it has not been a card that I think has been needed in Dragon Link for a long time. But that is Delindrous Dragon. And we can summon it because we use 2 Dark Dragon monsters using our Pisty and our Black Metal. And then we can use Black Metal again to search Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. And then we can overlay our 2 level 10 dragons to make Verudris. So now we've already set up Seals plus Verudris off of just the just this one little guy. Where is he? Off of just Spectre. But we still can keep going from here. So we can go Striker to pop the Delindrous, grab the Recharger. Recharger summons out the Tracer. We summon back the Delindrous, and then we can summon out... I summon Tidal again a second time. You can't do that. So this is supposed to be the Redox. But you guys know. You guys know. So summon out your third Dragon Ruler, and then you can link 5 for the Borland. So off of just Spectre, we get Seals, Borland, Verudris, plus the Full Metal Dragon. And then we have 2 unknowns, which can be hand traps or anything else. So what does this amount to? Well, it gives us a Towers plus a unreactable monster negate, 2 Omni negates, a Seals bounce, and presumably we summon Magnemite and get our search as well for next turn. And then we can throw hand traps at them too. So pretty good for just our 1 card plus a hand trap to discard. But I think we can do better than this because we really just started with 1 card plus a bunch of hand traps, right? What if we drew a starter? What if we drew that Black Metal that we searched for? Well, let's take a look at that. So this time it's going to be the same hand again, except now one of the Veilers have turned into a Black Metal. So we're going to start out the same way. I'm going to search Reactin as well as Tidal. We're going to start again by using Pebbles to summon the Boulder. And then Tidal's going to summon itself out. And we're going to once again go into Chasmatis, send Tempest, and Tempest will now search us for the Bestial Lubellion. And if you've seen any combos on this channel, you know that when you have Black Metal plus Lubellion, you kind of do whatever you want. So with that in mind, you can also open Lubellion instead of this Black Metal. So if you have Black Metal plus Lubellion, you're good. So if you have either piece, you just search for the other. So we can normal summon our Black Metal here, go once again for our Spirit with Eyes of Blue, get Red MD, summon out our Red MD. Red MD can get us back our little Black Metal, and then we can go Lubellion effect, search our Magnemite. And then what's interesting is that now we can sequence in this Lubellion, get our Regained up onto the board before we start going through the previous combo. And now this helps us be a little bit more nib resistant, because if we get nibbed later in our turn, it might get us back a Magnemite, lets us get a draw, etc., etc. So once again, we're going to be searching for our Dragon Ravine. And here, we don't have to Dragon Ravine quite as early, because we do already have a dragon in our hand. We can trigger the Romulus as well as our Striker Dragon and our Black Metal. And we're just going to search that Meteor Dragon once again, summon it out. And then this time, I think I do remember the sequence correctly. I summon out the Tempest, and now I make the Seals before committing anything else to the board. We're going to go Dragon Ravine, pitch, grab the Absoraptor, get the Tracer. So far, pretty much the same as before. We're going to pop the Field Spell and then make our Dispatter. Dispatter gets us back our Black Metal. And then we can make Pisty. Pisty gets us back our Red MD. And then we can go for the Delindrous once again. We search our Full Metal again. And now we make Verudris. So we're in the same position that we were before, but this time we now have a Magnemite and a Regained as well. And what's nice about this is that this gives us an extra body, because I don't think that we used the Borland on the last replay. We're kind of floating a body because we didn't have anything to extend with. So this time we get back our Delindrous, and now we summon the Redox. I properly use Redox instead of cheating and using the wrong Dragon Ruler, so try not to do that. And now we make our Borland. But here's what's nice. As you've noticed, I haven't used this Magnemite, and I haven't used my Regain draw at any point. And I've been saving it for the end, because now we can Magnemite, banish our Striker Dragon, effect a search and end phase, and use our Regain to put back the Striker so that we have follow-up for the next turn. which is really, really important because you really do want to have that Striker Dragon. We're really missing having the second Striker Dragon in TCG. So being able to guarantee recycle that with the Magnamut at the end of your combo is really, really nice because it means that, we're going to have full gas once again next turn because we're going to be able to get back into our red MD and so on and so forth. And now we're going to be able to go Borland, negate this Magnamut now that it's resolved, make an IP Masquerena, and then we're going to search our Druis Worm and remember to use our Full Metal Dragon and set our max Metal Morph. So if we're taking a look at this board, this is a lot of interactions. I don't even think stuff like Ryzeal or Malice can play through this because, I mean, there's just so much here. We've got a Seal's Bounce, a Banish from SP, a second Banish from SP. We've got a Send with Druis Worm, a Pop with Verudris, a Negate with Verudris, a Negate with our max Metal Morph. If we can sequence it in such a way that we Verudris and then they summon a guy and then we regain, summon back our Dispatter, that gets us another monster negate, and then we'd have 2 monster negates. So I think in all we have a 1 bounce, 2 banishes, 2 pops, 2 Omni negates, 2 monster negates, a graveyard interaction, and a draw, and a reborn technically, so we get like another body. And then any hand traps that we have on top of that. So I think that that's probably enough interactions to stop our opponent from playing, which seems pretty good. So, and keeping in mind that this is all off of just the new card Spectre plus either of our good starters from before in either Black Metal or Lubellion. I think that there's probably even more stuff that we could throw in there as like potential starters to get to same or similar boards. You know, I haven't tested it with Safer, but it probably works out the same way. I haven't tested it with, Rocket Tracer, but you guys get the idea. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I think that these cards are really powerful. They have a lot of potential. I'm really excited to see what people do with them. So if you are also having fun with these cards, let me know down in the comments below. Feel free to join the Discord, share your best end board if you would like. And yeah, have a good day. Goodbye.